What's up? It's Drive By Movies with another episode of Direct to Dumpster. It's our new show. If you didn't check out last week's episode, be sure to see Bad Ronald. Direct to Dumpster is a show where we revisit a movie that no one remembers. You shouldn't remember, but we're going to just talk about it anyways. Because that's what YouTube is. Just pointless movie conversations. At least my section of YouTube. My name is James.
My name is Blaise.
This week is The Devil Dog, The Hound of Hell. Directed by Curtis Harrington.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is a movie that went straight to TV. ABC channel, ABC network again, like last week's movie.
It really is?
No,
Are you sure
really
about this?
not,
Okay, I was going to say, I know this is a TV movie. I know it's another TV movie. We did one last week. Interesting, I have to say, that so many, different kind of horror TV movies. Where are those now?
Yeah.
The
last one I remember is The Shining from the 90s. That wasn't necessarily a movie. It was like a mini series. It was like a 3-hour movie, essentially. Mm-hmm. But what happened to those? Maybe they exist. Maybe we don't have cable. Just so you Hocus Pocus sequel fans know, we don't know that it's on every year on Halloween.
Devil Dog is on every year on Halloween.
We don't know this. We've turned to the internets for our TV. But yeah, Devil Dog, though, it's just coincidentally another direct to TV movie. But I missed that horror things happen to be a thing in the 70s or 80s.
Wait, is every movie that's on Netflix a TV movie then?
Oh, you just blew my mind. Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
So there are there still TV movies? Are there no more TV movies? Mm-hmm. Or is every movie a TV movie?
It's a good point. Yeah. Because video on demand is a thing, but this is like direct to Netflix, but Netflix is its own thing. And but this movie, I mean, it's hard to find. Not sure where you can stream it, but we're lucky and we have a VHS copy of it. We're old school. We're hunting for those crazy ones. And Devil Dog is definitely worth a watch, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. What's it called? With the dogs, like necessarily, I guess in the 70s, how do you watch your dog videos? There's no 70s YouTube that you could check out. Yeah. So watch this movie.
There's also no animal rights or like animal rules that you could have or do the things to them on set. So I'm sure
Arnold Schwarzenegger
there was
knows
multiple
best.
Dogs lost in this production.
Oh God, I hope not. Jeez.
It's possible. Yeah. I'm not going to rule it out. That's for sure.
So the plot of this movie, though, is the Barry family. That's it's not just some guy named Barry. It's like that's their actual last name, Barry. Mm-hmm. They adopt a dog, but this dog has been summoned, was summoned, the spirit of the son of the devil, Satan at least. The movie, probably the best part of the movie, I'd say, is just the intro. This weird cult of people dressed up in all black decide, we need to adopt a puppy.
For me, that's definitely the worst part of the movie because it's like the best in the way that it just sets up the movie for you. There's a lot of, my favorite parts in this movie. I have to agree. The beginning is one of them. There's like this... There's like 3 or 4 people. How many? There's like 3.
None of them
2
match.
of them don't say anything.
One's wearing a tux. One's wearing a black suit like he's in the FBI. And like one looks like a butler. One looks like an FBI agent. The other looks like a goth queen. And that's the main one who's doing all the talking.
One's like Dom DeLuise's like lost brother. Like they just forgot about him. Like left him on a bus or something. And then he ended up on the set of this movie. Yeah. And he's just, I think that's what my favorite guy throughout the movie. He never says anything. He just like smiles and goes like, eh. Yeah. Like that's it.
And for whatever reason, they pick a German Shepherd mom to adopt and like, yeah, that's the one. And the owner is just like, oh, I'm not giving her away that easily. And then he does give her away that easily.
Do you think he died? Is there a possibility that they killed him?
The owner of the dog? Or
yeah.
Possibly, yeah. They could have, either way, they were going to get the dog no matter what. But we see that it ended diplomatically.
And there's like a cult, essentially, they're kind of like alluding to. There was no budget for there to be the actual cult. So they allude that there's like a cult in which they do this, they draw a pentagram ceremony on the ground.
That was
the ceremony. The dog's smiling the whole time, which just makes it even more funny. Yeah. That they're like, oh, we're doing this crazy like... to bring out one of these ancient demons to put into the dog's soul or whatever. But the dog's like smile. Like every time they cut to the dog, like where they're saying like these satanic like quotes or this ritual is like being performed. Yeah, they like cut to the dog and the dog just like has its tongue out. Yeah, like. It's just like that's what makes it like really awkward and funny in a way. Like it's just funny because it's like they cut to the dog, like how menacing is this satanic ritual, and the dog's just like smiling.
Well, going back to it, I remember you mentioned that there were other dogs like a part of this movie. Like there's obviously like some stunt doubles in this movie. Like when the dog goes demon mode, that's not a German Shepherd. That's like a fucking Rottweiler beast thing. It looks like the pit bulls from the Eric Bana Hulk movie, essentially. Mm-hmm. But also, though, you called out while we were watching it, though, like whenever there's close up of the dog's eyes when it's controlling someone, especially in the puppy scenes, it's a completely different dog because they have an acting dog, but then they had to get a dog that just sits still, I guess, also and doesn't blink.
Yeah, they do have a couple dogs that they use, but when you're watching it and like after even thinking about it, you're like, why though? There was no reason to have like multiple dogs for the close-ups. It must have been reshoots because every time they do the close-up, the dog is significantly older. Like they'll have like a grown dog. I think that they were having issues with the fact that they started with a puppy. Yeah, but if you think about it, they really it's called Devil Dog. It's not called Devil Puppy. So they should have just never had a puppy in the whole movie because it caused them a lot of like problems in editing when they're like, there's a puppy and then they go to a close up and it's like a full grown dog. Yeah. So I mean, it's probably the same dog. They just like, oh dang, we didn't get a close up. All right, what are we going to do? Well, we could just shoot it now. Yeah. Like that's probably what happened.
Right. More into the plot though. So the family, they apparently lost their German Shepherd early on in the movie. They just kind of bring this up and they just stumble across a new German Shepherd. And
they don't really stumble across it. There's this weird farmer who's like trying to sell fruits and vegetables while driving a car through a suburb. Yeah. Which it doesn't seem like is the best way to like, get that job done. But then he's like, so that was already fishy. They should have known from the start, like, okay, why is this guy just sell it? Like, this isn't a farmer's market. What's going on here?
Conveniently, it's a little girl's birthday, and that's what she wants for her birthday, too.
He's like, I got some puppy. Yeah. Like, he's creepy. Mm-hmm. He's a farmer. Also, the one thing that was weird for me is, like, I feel like that should have been, like, the Dom DeLuise character.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because, like, it should have been the same guy, or, like, one of the guys from the cult. Like, who is this guy?
How did he get involved?
How is he involved in this? Mm-hmm. We didn't see him in the ritual scene. They couldn't even just like throw him in the back there.
And also it made me ask the question like, wait a minute. So the devil dog, there isn't one devil dog. It's devil dogs, essentially. There's multiple puppies in that litter and stuff.
And they allude to this later on in the film when like the dad is watching TV and there's just people being like, it was the dog. Yelling. They're like yelling at the news reporter like,
No, I don't know. My husband never did anything like this before. Never. I keep telling them that.
Mrs. Hadley, how did this start?
It was the dog. He kept saying it was the dog next door that forced him to kill all those people.
It was the dog. He killed everybody. So.
Even weirder at mixing to the puzzle. So they get this puppy. It kills the maid.
Dios te salve María, gracias Señor es contigo, bendita tú eres entre todas las mujeres, bendito es el fruto de tu vientre Jesús.
Then 1 year later, everything's fine. Oh, no problem that the maid just burned alive and the family just witnessed this and saw a dead body in their house.
And that's one of the weird things about this movie is like the stereotypical use of the maid where she's like, oh, she's Latina, so therefore
she's superstitious.
She's superstitious of everything. But you know what is best about this is like how many years has it been and we have characters that are still this stereotypical character.
We just saw it in Devil, that elevator Shyamalan movie, and just
I would say most James Wan movies. Like I feel like they have a character like that.
Right. Yeah. I know that La Rona movie coming out. There's like it's an all white cast. I'm like, what? This is like part of my heritage and shit. So that means we're gonna be the stereotypical Mexican lady who. Truth or Dare was a movie.
Have you heard the legend? It's just gonna be Oh, they're gonna just
Paranormal Activity, the marked ones, like even the Maid in Paranormal Activity 2 is just like, oh, I don't fuck with this house and shit. Yeah.
So it's how far have we come to
Since
not
the
go
70s.
far?
Yeah.
You know, like in a way, like how far have we come to not go far at all?
Right.
Where we're like getting people to still come, like, okay, well, if we make it ritual, then maybe someone from another culture
light holy candles.
You know?
When in doubt, light holy candles.
I want to see a bunch of the, like, I didn't even see one Jesus candle in this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can go to the 99-cent store and buy a stockpile of Jesus candles for the rest of my life.
Support your local Vons and Ralph's.
I was gonna say 99-cent store only, but anyways, getting into that though, the maid, like having that's probably my favorite part, and you know, that scene kind of introduces one of the very conventional and somewhat unconventional forms of time that they show in this movie, where like basically something in a big event will almost happen, they'll cut, and then it will be like 3 years later.
Right, yeah.
And that's used about like 4 or 5 times throughout the movie.
Yep.
Oh my God. Maybe it's a rotor.
I think
Lucky.
maybe we need to hire a new gardener.
Lucky, come on, boy. Come here. Come on, Lucky.
To show you that time is moving,
The dad
will
just
also leave you confused as hell.
Yeah. The dad just realized he wants to go on a journey across some Latin American country.
I think it's Mexico. I don't know. It's Latin America, South America.
Yeah.
Probably Mexico, let's be honest. This guy was on a budget.
But really, it's in Malibu.
Yeah, it is Malibu. We've been there before. It's where they shot most of MASH. It's Malibu Creek.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, then that, like, you're just like, oh, okay, he just ditched his family and left them with the dog, and he's gonna go figure out what this dog is. Then somehow he comes back with like a passport and knows all this knowledge, and for whatever reason there's a huge showdown in a train station.
The showdown is probably, I mean, a lot of these scenes are very good. I think those are my favorite so far, but the showdown takes the cake. Some of the effects they use in this movie, I still don't know how they're made. I know it's not very difficult to figure it out, but I'm going to leave it to mystery. I want to think that this was possibly
We know
real.
they got a shitty camera for those scenes for some reason. For whatever reason, whenever we see a devil dog, the camera quality just gets so fucking bad, and we could not understand why.
Well, being that this is a used VHS, I like to think that it was more so the person who previously owned this film loved those scenes and degraded the tape down at those parts.
That's a
I
possibility.
think it's possible.
It is.
I mean, if you're out there, I mean,
it is on Blu-ray, so yeah, there is like HD copies of this movie out there.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're wondering like how you want to watch this film, it is available on YouTube. It's available on Blu-ray. Go check it out. But at least the copy that we watch, the scenes with any special effects whatsoever are so degraded and so bad. You had to wonder like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
I think it was like a little kid owned it, and he just kept like watching those parts. They're not even good. That's the part that's upsetting.
Mm-hmm. Well, if this kid bought it in the 80s, though, I mean, what movies did you have? Oh, all right, never mind. There's a ton of movies, but yeah.
It's enough to not watch this ever again after watching it the first time.
Is that how you feel about the movie overall, would you say?
Overall, I would like say it just was really, it's very boring. And I think most of the, films that we're going to watch in this series are going to be very boring. So I don't even think that's a talking point. Yeah. It's kind of like a given. But I would say that it's not even bad enough to be funny. There's only like a couple good scenes that we talked about, like the maid, like how the maid dies, the woman on television that warns of another devil dog, and then the guy's like putting the pieces together like, wait, I have a dog. How's this? So there's a couple good scenes, but other than that, like a lot of the film, it just feels like a family drama TV movie that's not even good.
I'd say it is overall just a tease of a movie. There's like elements to where it's like teasing like, oh, something big's gonna happen. Like, wait, that's it. Yeah. It's the Last Jedi of straight to TV movies.
It almost makes you wish that you like grew up or like were making movies at this time, because like did people make money from like making this? Because it doesn't seem that hard.
They paid the actors, but I don't. Yeah, they were like, oh, we're number one at that time slot this week. So
Yeah.
bam. Yeah.
Like now things have to have at least like a mildly good story or people forgot about a story from the past that was exactly the same. And you're like, let's make that, you know?
So I guess we'll inevitably see a sequel, or not a sequel, a remake of this movie eventually. Sponsored by ABC Family. Thank you. I can always count on you guys for making these movies.
Do you think that for ABC Family, since Disney's launching their new streaming service soon, are they going to include a lot of the ABC Family films? Because I know that they're having, you know, the Avengers, Marvel catalog within the Disney streaming app. But that's not a big enough sell for me. I want a little bit more. You know, I want some of these ABC Family TV movies. There's no lifetime subscription.
Right.
I'm not going to get cable. You guys crazy?
Yeah.
I want those films on the Disney All Access, Disney Pass.
Yeah.
You know, I want some of those Disney Channel original movies. Halloween Town. People are telling me it's good. I haven't seen it. Yeah. You know?
You heard it here first. I mean, Hocus Pocus, where are we supposed to watch that when we don't have cable? I ain't buying the Blu-ray copy. It's expensive.
I don't have money for this.
Yeah.
But
that's why I collect VHS tapes. You've seen the collection I have.
All right. I'm calling it $15 a month. Disney All Access is going to at least be 15 because they got to price themselves up to HBO and out of the Netflix range.
And then they're going to go to like AMC Prime eventually. Just like, oh, you can watch 5 movies a week.
$30 a month.
Yeah. So that's it for Direct Dumpster this week. Thanks for checking out. Leave a comment on what movie you think we should revisit, a movie that we've never heard of. We're happy to check out. We'll see you guys next week. Subscribe to Drive By Movies for new videos every Thursday.